Happy Monday. So just a quick update of the weekly chart since the weekly candle has just closed. I'm going to dive straight into it and keep this short and sweet. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Click the subscribe button down below. Make sure you get on my email list. First link in the description down below. And with that being said, let's get started. So we just had the weekly close over here that actually closed below the 200-week moving average. So this is a weekly chart. The red moving average is a 200 simple moving average. The blue is the 50 simple moving average. And you can see we're currently at $19,800 for Bitcoin. And this is the first time, I think, that we really closed significantly below the 200-week moving average. So again, new paradigms are happening here. Now, if you've been following the channel, go and check out some of the last videos, even yesterday's news video. There was a lot of problems in the market with, for example, 3AC, the huge crypto fund that had $18 billion at its peak under assets. They are facing insolvency. Celsius, we still don't know what the details are. They are having serious issues with withdrawals halted and a potential liquidation level around the $13,000 level. So what this means is that there could still be a lot of people here who have problems, who have to liquidate crypto to be able to pay their debts, to be able to pay their customers, which means that the selling pressure on Bitcoin and on Ethereum, and as a result on the whole market, could still be very strong. And we're not even looking at the rest of the market, the stock market, that could also potentially continue to sell off and things like that. So there is definitely still bearish pressure. And what I want to say here is simply, until now, we can at least reclaim this 200-week moving average with a weekly close back above it, meaning we need the next week or whenever it's going to come to close above this $22,500 level. If we can get that, then there's much more chance that the bottom could be in and that we could be looking at a bounce and maybe, sideways accumulation and moving further up. But as long as we are now below this 200-week moving average, it means that any bounce, even up to that 200-week moving average, if it retests it, if it even gets that high, I'm not sure it even will, but that moving average is now resistance. So we have to be very careful here. And the downside target is basically, I think, around this level. It can be anywhere from, say, about 11,000 to 14,000. You can see that is historically when we've had the strong support. Back in 2018 over here, it was support, there it was resistance, there it was resistance, there it was resistance, and then we blasted up for the 2020 bull run. And you can see there is still a gap over here, an inefficiency, and combined with the support over here, combined with the fundamental factors that we may have yet to see a big sell-off and continue its liquidations, and potentially Celsius, which I think is around $14,000 or $13,000, it is possible that we still go down to that level. So that is really what I'm looking for this week. As long as we're below the 200-week moving average, the potential target is still quite a bit lower, maybe even into the low teens, like I've said over here. And any rallies or bounces, be careful as long as they're under that 200-week moving average. If they get rejected, it could just result in more downside. What we're really looking for at this point to get some sort of bullish confirmation is a weekly close back above the 200-week moving average, back above $22,500 at this point. A quick look at the weekly Ethereum chart also. You can see that also closed below the 200-week moving average, even though on Ethereum, the 200-week moving average is not as important because it tends to go below there. It's a bit different to Bitcoin, as you've seen on the chart. So basically, same rules apply. We want to get at least a weekly close back above this 200 moving average, which is about $1,200. And ideally, we want to get back above this point, which was the previous all-time high peak. And of course, it turned into support there. It is now resistance. So we want to get above, ideally, $1,450 with the weekly close before we can start getting more bullish on Ethereum again. And downside targets are potentially over here, this peak, so around the $800 level. And if things sell off even more, you can see there's a much more support over here at this range between, say, $350 and $500 if things really sell off and get really bad. So that is really the levels to watch for this week. Let's see what this week brings. Of course, always manage your risk. Don't overextend. Be patient. Don't use leverage if you don't know what you're doing. And of course, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next video.